I'm very pleased to have very special guests with me today, with JP Lavigne as the worldwide storage TS7780 product manager.
That's correct.
And from the German team, Stefan Neff, who's the local tape and as well virtual tape expert here based out of Germany. And it's a very special time for us because we just launched a new product, a very exciting product with the TS7780.
Yes.
And so of course, I'm very curious to learn from you what are actually the news, what makes this so different, and how you see this as a benefit and a value for our customers.
Yeah, so the TS7780 is the next generation, what we call enterprise virtual tape library for our Z systems. And you probably heard a little bit about our DS8K being the primary storage for the Z. The TS7700 kind of works as the backup place where all of the backup data, the archive data, and the object store data resides. So it's a much more cost-effective way to do it. It uses a grid technology that allows it to be extremely available. The idea behind it is that Z system customers need to have access to their data all the time, no matter what happens. So whether a computer room fails or a part inside the system fails, or whether the city goes down or the state or the country, wherever it happens to be, we use a grid technology. It just allows us to be up all the time. You know, the data is kept in multiple copies, etc.
Would you explain to our viewers here a bit more what you mean with the grid architecture?
Yeah, so the grid architecture is designed to act as one big enterprise library. So from the Z system perspective, it looks like one big environment, but in reality, it could be 2 boxes, 4 boxes, 8 boxes, replicated to other cities, other countries. But from a viewpoint, from the customer's data perspective, it's all just one big environment. But again, spread out across multiple data centers, multiple cities, countries, etc. And the new TS7780, what it is all about is this is the next generation platform. So it's the hardware platform that we're going to use for the next 5 years with the next, the next iterations of customers' requirements around backup, archive, restore, and object store. So we've come out with the new hardware pieces and parts. And then we'll be building the new functionality over the coming years, over the next 3, 4, 5 years, doing a lot of more interesting things around what customers are asking us to do to keep their data protected. So this announcement's really about the hardware, make that initial change, give that foundation for that platform, and then we'll be coming out with lots of new functionality over the next 5 years, really.
So more exciting news. And
a lot of exciting news, yes. Yeah, the new hardware is not as sexy as some of the new functionality that's coming out, but that foundation is really important to allow us to do all the interesting things that we want to do.
That's the base, yeah.
Yeah.
But that leads me to a maybe flanking question for you, Stefan. I mean, what do you see from a customer perspective currently being the key requirements in terms of virtual tape and the value proposition that JP just mentioned?
Yeah, so JP just mentioned the TS7700 is a main system for the data backup for the clients. Yeah. And in these days, typically, years ago, we talked about disaster recovery, high availability, but in the latest years, we've seen that also we talk about cybersecurity and resiliency and like ransomware attacks and so on. And the solution provides or we already developed in the last years in little stones to what we have already today are unique functions which makes this product so valuable and so adjustable that we also can address those new challenges of the market or from the field, to address these functions. And I just want to mention some examples for this. So the 7700 is a box, a tape virtualization box, but it has storage. It can have storage inside, but it also attaches in the backend, if you want. It's an option to a physical tape library and to tape drives. Or you can have in the backend an object store, which can be on-prem or off-prem. And when you're combining these functions along with the grid technology, as JP mentioned, you can have 8 members in a grid. Everyone can have a tape library, an object store. Object store could be immutable, for example. Tape libraries could, for example, offload physical tapes to an external storage. We can build such a powerful solution out of these possibilities we have already today in today's functions, that we can address as best as possible. We can today also, like ransomware and cyber attacks, that the backup is and stays the client's last line of defense.
I mean, that seems to really strengthen the overall messaging around the always available, right, super secure infrastructure. So
Sam Werner, our VP, said it best. It's end-to-end integration with the Z system.
Yeah.
Along with the DS8K, the DS8000 that was announced just a few weeks back in Germany. You take that with the Z, add in the TS7700, and you have the full end-to-end integration of the mainframe's customer data. I mean, that's really what it's all about. There's no special software that is required on one or the other. The management of the data is created when policies are set, when data is created. And then the Z essentially, along with the DS8K and the TS7700, manage where it's best to be sitting, whether it's sitting on primary storage in the DS8K, or whether it's backup storage, or whether it's object storage and perhaps even sitting out in the cloud or out on a tape library somewhere. So the idea is just to have that complete end-to-end integration from the creation of data till it finally dies.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing this encouraging news.
Yeah.
And great to have this platform for further features and great announcements to come. Thanks for the discussion.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your
Thank
interest
you.
and talk to you soon.
Thanks.